Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is August 20th, 2026, and more confirmed exits as Barcelona continue their movements in the market. Also, Deco making it clear that Barca are not done signing. We're going to talk about Barcelona's options. And finally, could this be Frenkie de Jong's final season? We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. We'll begin this video with some more confirmed exits as Barcelona continue working hard during this summer transfer market. And the exit that Barcelona confirmed today through their social media outlets is for the 20-year-old Hungarian goalkeeper Aaron Jakobishvili. Of course, Jakobishvili spent last season on loan in the second division team Andorra, owned by Gerard Piqué. He came back to the club in Barcelona. We're hoping he would be the third goalkeeper, but the player said no because he, of course, prefers to have minutes somewhere else. Where if you're a third goalkeeper, well, you're very likely that you'll get 0 minutes through the season. So now Barcelona have loaned them to Almeria, who are also in second division. Of course, this means that Jakobishvili will be coming back next summer. But the question is, what's going to happen with Jakobishvili next summer? Because, of course, Barcelona are now finalizing the signing of Livakovic, who they hoping will become the second goalkeeper next summer once Wojciech Szczesny Szczesny's contract expires. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens with Jakobishvili. But for now, just know that he has left to Almeria on a one-season loan. And now another player who has officially left the city of Barcelona is no other than Tomi Marquez, the 19-year-old defensive midfielder who left Barcelona today and arrived in Braga in order to sign for, Braga. It was originally thought that Barcelona were going to transfer Tomi Marquez to Braga for 10 million euros fixed plus 2 million euros variables, but that agreement was changed, and now Braga will pay 11 million euros fixed to Barcelona for Tomi Marquez, and Barcelona will retain a right of refusal. Now, Tomi Marquez debuted with the first team towards the end of last season, where he showed a lot of signs of brilliance, and when it seemed like he would replace Marc Casado on the first team. Of course, the rise of Fariñas and Xavi Espar, plus the arrival of Rodri, meant that Tomi Marquez had no space on the first team, so Barcelona opted for selling him. And now Barcelona will be making 11 million euros off this transfer. This is, of course, only a day or two after Barcelona have made 6 million euros off the transfer of Jofre Torrents, and a few days after making 50 millions of Ferran Torres. So not only is Barcelona actively signing, but they're also actively offloading, making money in the process. Now, 2 more players are currently working on finalizing their exits. Their exits are not final yet, but it's no other than the Fernandez cousins. Of course, Guille Fernandez, who is on the right, holding up the number 2 or peace sign. I don't know what he's doing. But anyways, that's Guille Fernandez, 18-year-old midfielder, someone who was showing a lot of promise, participated in several preseasons, but could never really earn a spot on the first team with the overbooking of midfielders that we have on the first team. And given that he has already outgrown the fourth division with Barca Athletic, Barcelona now opted to sell him this summer, informing the player of their plans and also separating them from the group. And now it's reported that Guille Fernandez is finalizing or closing his move to the Premier League, more specifically Newcastle. And Toni Fernandez, 18-year-old attacking midfielder, same story as his cousin, participated 3 preseasons with Barcelona, couldn't quite earn a spot on the first team, but also has also outgrown fourth division and Barca Athletic. So Barcelona have also opted to sell him, and it looks like Toni is now finalizing a move to the Bundesliga to Bayer Leverkusen. So it looks like the cousins who have grown up together, not just at home, but also in Barcelona's academy, will be separated, with one going to the Premier and the other one going to the Bundesliga. And with Barcelona maintaining some kind of control over their future, we don't know yet, probably buyback clause, maybe a percentage of any future sales, maybe a right of first refusal or first right of refusal. We'll see what the final agreement is. But just know that the 2 cousins are also finalizing their moves. Now on to the next bit of news, because, ladies and gentlemen, Deco has confirmed that Barcelona are not done signing. Now, as you know by now, Barcelona's number one priority for the center forward has been Julian Alvarez. But despite Julian making statements that he wanted to leave and telling Atletico Madrid time and time again that he only wants to join Barcelona, there has been no movements on that front, and it's starting to look less and less likely that Julian will join. So, of course, the question is Barcelona going to give up on signing a center forward, or will they look for someone else? And, well, Deco answered that question after the win against Al Ahly in the Joan Gamper Trophy match, saying the following: "We've lost two players up front, Lewandowski and Ferran. I think we can find solutions for Ferran with the signings we've made. Robert's situation is much more difficult. It's very hard to replace a player like him. There's a lot of speculation, but we're going to make a move." Again, there's a lot of speculation, but we're going to make a move. We have options within the squad, but we have to keep looking. So there you have it, folks. Deco saying that Barcelona will be making a move. Now, of course, also clarifying that Barcelona will be looking to replace Lewy, not Ferran, because Ferran can be replaced with the players we've signed, and that's 100% true. I mean, Ferran, after all, is not really a center forward. He's a winger that was converted as a center forward. And, well, for that, we have Anthony Gordon and Karim Adeyemi, who can do it as well, if not much better than Ferran Torres. The question is how to replace Lewy, someone who guaranteed you at least 30 to 40 goals per season. So that's what Deco's mission will be for these remaining days in the market. And, of course, the question is, which players can Barcelona try to sign in the place of Julian to replace Lewandowski? Now, it's reported that the player that generates the most consensus within the club is no other than Lautaro Martinez, Julian Alvarez's teammate on the Argentine national team. Of course, he's 28 years old, currently plays for Inter Milan. But despite generating the most consensus, this is, of course, a highly unlikely possibility, because Inter Milan consider Lautaro Martinez as a not-for-sale player, an untouchable player, kind of like how Lamine Yamal or Cubarsí or Pedri is for us. So Inter Milan will not be looking to sell Lautaro, let alone at this late in the market, right? Because if they sell him, they're going to have to go to the market to look for someone else. And at this point, there's not a lot of time left in the summer transfer market. Not to mention, of course, that Lautaro himself has said that he's very happy at Inter Milan. So highly unlikely possibility. Not impossible. Nothing is impossible, but very, very unlikely. Unless, of course, the player somehow changes his opinion and tries to force his way out. But for now, not looking like this could happen. The second player, or the player that generates the most consensus, but not as much as Lautaro Martinez, is Viktor Gyökeres, the 28-year-old Swedish center forward who currently playing for Arsenal. He's not too happy at Arsenal. Arsenal are not too happy with him. So this is a more likely possibility than Lautaro. In fact, they're saying Gyökeres would love to play for Barcelona. So this makes this possibility a lot more likely than Lautaro. But of course, this move will have to wait until Arsenal are done signing, because right now Arsenal are in the market to sign a center forward. They haven't finalized their summer transfer market yet. So if Arsenal end up signing the players they are looking to sign, then this option could become a lot more real. Now, in third place is someone we've talked about previously on the channel. Is no other than Nicolo Tresoldi, 22-year-old German center forward, currently at Club Brugge. Barcelona have reportedly been watching him or tracking him since last season, and they have a lot of positive reports. However, unlike Lautaro or Gyökeres, Nicolo Tresoldi is viewed more as a future bet, as someone who would be better to sign maybe in 2-3 years. After all, he is 22 years old. So it doesn't have elite football experience, as opposed to Lautaro and Gyökeres, who are both 28 and have more experience than Tresoldi. So this is a less likely option, even though it would be probably the easiest one out of the three, because Tresoldi would love to come to Barca, and Barca could sign him for around 40 to 50 million euros. So he would cost a lot less, but it's the least, it's the option that less likely to happen, not because of the difficulty, but because Barcelona see this as a future bet. Now, out of these three, who would you sign? Let me know down below in the comment section. And then let's end today's video with the news that there's a lot of There's talks or rumors starting to boil under the surface that maybe this could be Frenkie de Jong's final season. Now, of course, Frenkie de Jong is currently recovering from a knee injury that he suffered during the World Cup, and that was made worse because he continued to play despite having that injury. But we don't know when he's going to be coming back because the plan was initially to try conservative treatment, and if this conservative treatment doesn't work, then opt for a surgery. The conservative treatment has not worked. Frenkie is not improving, and yet he is still refusing to undergo surgery. So we don't know when is he going to recover. But for now, it's reported that Barcelona are not too happy with him, given that decision to play injured in the World Cup, making his injury worse, and also because he won't undergo surgery. But nonetheless, there's now talks in Frenkie de Jong's native country of the Netherlands about perhaps this is being Frenkie de Jong's final season. More specifically, these statements come from the Dutch journalist Valentin Driessen, I think that's how you say his name, who said the following about the Dutch midfielder. He has been injured a lot. They already tried to get rid of him before, and now they bring Rodri. I don't think that now that he's injured, they're trying to transfer him. I can't imagine it. But I do think he's in his last season at Barca. He wanted to stay at Barcelona until the end of his career, but that's a privilege granted to very few players. He's not the sort of player you'd think would remain a first-team regular at Barcelona until he's 35. In short, he won't see out the end of his career there. You always have to perform to keep playing. If an excellent player comes in who plays in your position, I can't imagine those two playing together. Of course, they're talking about Rodri. So my question to you is, what do you think about these statements? I mean, they totally make sense. On one hand, Barcelona have tried to get rid of Frenkie in the past because he has been inconsistent. He never really lived up to the expectations of him. Plus, he has suffered a lot of injuries. He's also upset the club on several occasions when he's tried to play injured for the Netherlands. So Barcelona were already trying to get rid of him because of all those reasons. And now you add to the fact that Barcelona just brought in Rodri, someone that plays in Frenkie's position and who does a much better job than Frenkie in his own position. So the question is this Frenkie de Jong's final season? Now, of course, Frenkie has refused time and time again to leave in the past. But of course, in the past when Barcelona were trying to get rid of him, he was still a starter for Xavi and for Flick. But now, with Rodri here, is that going to change Frenkie's decision? Is he going to look around and say, okay, maybe I should leave because I'm going to be a substitute? Let me know down below in the comment section. And with that, we're going to wrap up this video. I did upload another video a few moments ago, so make sure you check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.